Yeah, looks like they back for a fifth season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT. They got that realness flowing in they DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so. What you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy. Break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal will roll tide forever. Real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT. Behind the glass, that G Money. They win strong. I never lose. 6-man elite. That's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe it. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's Sports Roundtable, and it is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, happy SRT Day. It is that time. It is 7 o'clock in the great state of Georgia. As I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and I got my co-host right here with me, rocking and rolling. I'm pretty sure you're going to hear him vent tonight about how the Falcons didn't make the good pick. You're spraying cologne on some stank. My main man, the sports superhero, Hancock, is in the building. What's up, bro?
What's up, big homie? What's good with you?
Man, all is well. Listen, I took some of what you said I was listening to a pod the other night, and I said, hey man, like my man Hancock said, you put cologne on stank. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot, and my main man D Will just pulled up on us in the hoodie.
Yeah, man, hoodie up.
D Will is in the building. What's up, Weezy?
What's happening, crew? Everybody good?
What's up, Weezy?
Yes, sir.
Man,
Everybody good.
I took a beating in fantasy this weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, but hey.
Nah, Hancock told me I was in good shape with Rodgers and Garrett Wilson at quarterback and wide receiver, and they pissed down their leg.
Yeah, they truly
I had
did.
Anthony Richardson on the bench, and he went for 30.
Well, I thought that was your prize pick anyway. So
He was, but Hancock told me that Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson was okay. That's what I'm trying to get at, Big H.O. It's Hancock's fault.
It's Hancock's fault. I got you. Yeah, man. Listen, man, that fantasy thing is something serious. Yeah, my quarterback got hurt, so I'm about to go to tour now.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, as long as he don't play in cold weather.
You got that right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll stay out my boy too.
Hey,
I'm
man.
just saying, cold weather that's his kryptonite. But either way, Coach said, "What up, Coach? What's up, Coach?" Hancock,
What's happening, Coach?
Coach said he look, Coach. I should have invited Coach on so he can brag about the Steelers, because the Steelers beat the Falcons with a damn kicker and a defensive end that should have been in the Falcon uniform. But I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. But man, we got a lot to talk about. College football, man. Who impressed? Who didn't impress? Could we have a football rivalry that could be coming up next week that could be something that's going to last for a long, long time? Yeah, we gonna get to that. Also, who's your sleeper team to get into the 12 playoffs? And boy, that Tyreek Hill got arrested. That's all in hot news. But before we even get this thing started, let's please give our honor to the 911 victims in the 911 historical. You already know, but let's give our at least pay our tribute and honor them for their great contribution and things of that nature. So prayers and shout out to all the families and friends and families of all those who lost some loved ones in the 911 fiasco. So prayers from the SRT crew. And I thought we was gonna start the night off talking about Tyreek Hill or maybe the debate that happened last night, Kamala Harris and the other guy. But I woke up this morning and something that I already took the cake. Mr. Unc himself. Club Shay Shay is in the news again as Club Shay Shay has taken over the internet and the social media all again as he claims he has been hacked. A live video on IG went live last night, if you hadn't heard, of him entertaining. Well, let me just say it this way. If you have a girlfriend or a wife or a side piece named Michelle, please make sure she was with you last night, because if she wasn't, I'm just gonna leave it right there. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So we starting off the show with, instead of talking about how Miss Harris did put her dukes up last night, instead we talking about Uncle Shay Shay. Han, you want to comment on that? Did you even hear about it? Because I know you seem like you work 24 hours, so
yeah, I'm like 7-Eleven, baby. We always open. But I had to give Unc his due, man. There have been some rumors about whether Unc was Unc or not, but
yeah, was he auntie or uncle? Huh?
Hey, Unc was knocking some socks off last Hey, we got to be real, man. It is what it is, man. So I'm not gonna come in because I want us to get kicked off too bad, but
yeah,
hey, man, stuff happens. But it looked like it was a good time. It sounded like it was a good time.
Yeah, it
sounded like it was a good time.
Yeah. So maybe he was trying to rebuke rumors or whatever. Not sure if that did it. I heard somebody say, "No, bro, we need to see something. We can't go off audio. We need to see it."
No, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take that IG word for it, big homie. I'm gonna leave it right there.
I'm good.
All right, D-Will, what you got on Mr. Shay Shay leading off the show?
Bruh, Big H.O., like I know, because not only do we sit on here and prognosticate about sports, but we also dibble and dabble into the world of IT, right? And we know how it works to go live. Like, in order to go live, it's a process. Your phone don't accidentally go live. You can't butt dial live. You feel me? It's a process. You got to log in. You got to put in a caption on what the live is, and then you got to hit the go live button. So for his phone to be sitting there, no camera, audio, and to go on IG live, mean they had to open the app, hit the live button, put in a caption, hit the red go live button, and then air.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Come on. Boy, that is. Listen, we know how publicity works in the world of entertainment. He got tired of hearing it. Have y'all seen his interviews? Everybody been saying, Marlon Wayans just sat on the doggone couch with him and was like, yeah, boy, they were talking about you gay. Chad Ochocinco, they say you gay because you got the purse. Then he was on there with Tyrese. Tyrese made him pull out the orange bag that he wore that everybody said he was gay with.
Right, right. Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, you go IG live with a sex tape? Boy, you ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody.
All right, so real quick, let's pray for, I just got a text message. Let's pray for all the folks in New Orleans that they say a hurricane is headed that way. So let's put our hands together and pray for everybody in the Louisiana area because the hurricane is heading that way. So let's make sure we pray for those loved ones and things of that nature for the hurricane. Now, I'm just tongue in cheek with this. Could this be a sign of what's to come, because Lil Wayne didn't get the halftime Super Bowl halftime, and it being in New Orleans. I mean, could this be an omen of saying that? I don't know, but I'm just
Move on.
Yeah, let me move on. But speaking of that, is that a problem? That do we have an issue with the artists from the state not being picked to do halftime? Is that a problem? I know in Atlanta,
there had already been a precedent set when the Atlanta crew didn't get this Super Bowl. You had Jermaine and all the people here, Usher and all these people here who blew up the South with music all throughout the 2000s, whatever, and they didn't get a chance to do the halftime when it was done here, when it was hosted here. So, it's not like the first time a homegrown artist hadn't been, headlining the Super Bowl. So, I don't really feel no pain for them, because I thought Atlanta should have headlined when they had it here.
Yeah, somewhat of a sort. I agree. ID Will, you in the music, Cloud9 represent. What's happening?
Man, I'm tell you like this. I don't have a problem with it. The thing I have a problem with was the backlash from artists in the genre going at Jay-Z like it was all on Jay-Z. That's the issue I have. Nicki Minaj, Birdman, and a bunch of others coming out and really like blasting Jay-Z, to the point where Lil Wayne had to go on stage last night and say, man, I don't know what they talking about. Jay-Z gave me $14 million to pay my taxes when I was broke. Nobody else did that. So like, it's one of those things where we make in our community, we make something a big deal when it's really not. And then as soon as it's out there, we try to pit people against each other, right? It's just how we are, right? It's the old school slave mentality, right? House Negro, field Negro. Like, we're gonna make them butt heads. So like, I get that part, but it seems like ain't everybody mad nowadays? Like Hurricane Chris going at 50 Cent because he ain't had no Louisiana artists when he did a show in Baton Rouge. Now they mad at Jay-Z because of Super Bowl. He ain't got, like, what does it matter? Who watches the Super Bowl halftime anyway? When the Super Bowl halftime come on, I go outside and, you know what I'm saying, I do my thing. So I don't even care about the Super Bowl halftime.
Good, Reggie. Yes, sir.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I feel you on that. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get to this. Shout out to Red. What's up, Red? I hope hope everything good. Let me see. Let's get to. There we go. SRT Hot News. SRT Hot News sponsored by our good old friends, Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill, the best Louisiana seafood in town. As we talk about Louisiana, let's please pray for the people in Louisiana as the hurricane is heading that way. They had some people that had to evacuate to nearby cities and states. So let's go ahead and give our prayers to that. But back to the Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road. Go ahead over to Big Easy Grill with the best shrimp in town. 2 bites to get rid of 1 shrimp. Go ahead and let them know you SRT Sports Round Table. You get the 10% discount on any meals, $25 or more. All right, first topic. College football week. I guess this is week number 2. Who impressed and who didn't impress? And I'm gonna go ahead and start with you as our football sheets. Just we put them in the fireplace because they who impressed, who impressed and who didn't impress.
Well, I had who did not impress, and that was Kansas and Michigan headline my 2 least impressive teams, and that's I'm sure there were better candidates, but I thought I was expecting Kansas to go into Illinois, and after coming off last year where they showed promise, returning 10 starters on offense, and to go in there and lay an egg and lose to Illinois, I thought was unimpressive. Michigan, without Harbaugh, with the way they play football at a slow pace, or grinded out, even last year, I didn't think they had enough skill positions. I was really shocked that people weren't able to kind of distance themselves and, win. They ended up winning the national title. It really shocked me that they were able to do it. Because when I think of Michigan, I just think of a football team that's still playing in the 80s, man. I mean, a slow down power game. And that's not college football. College football is a spread, wide open style of football where your skill positions put up points and put pressures on defense. So they were my two least impressive. Impressive teams, I go with Tennessee. I really don't know how good they are, but they are right now doing the things that you expect them to do. We saw them put up points like this before, and then when they came up against stiffer competition, they fell down. So we'll see. But I have them as kind of most impressive. And Texas going in and manhandling Michigan. I think Texas right now, to me, is the best, is the class of college football in my eye, out of all the teams I've seen. Right now, I'm putting them up there as a top team I've seen so far. So those are my two teams that I say are most impressive right now.
Texas and Tennessee, the two T's. You rolling on?
No, hold it. I didn't say Tennessee was the most impressive. Don't get that twisted. I said they were impressive this past weekend. Let's see about them. The jury's still out on that. I'm not gonna go out on that limb.
All right. All right. So you ain't getting your home state. Not so much love right now.
No, not like that.
As D Will said last week, let's pump the brakes on them. Okay, cool. All right, D Will, what you got? Impressed? Not impressed?
Not impressed. I'm gonna start like hand start. I'm starting my not impressed. Brace yourself. My not impressed was University of Alabama. They struggled with South Florida, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Jalen Milroe just doesn't look comfortable. Right? It looked like there's a disconnect between him having a grasp of that offense and what Kalen DeBoer wants to do. Right? I'm not sure if what Kalen DeBoer wants to do doesn't fit Jalen Milroe, or if what they're trying to cater the offense to Jalen Milroe, the play calling isn't coming off the right way. All you see from Alabama right now is throw it as far as you can down the field and hope Ryan Williams can run up under it. Right? You don't see anything in the intermediate area of the football field. You don't see anything to the boundaries. We're not running the ball efficiently. It looks like it's forced. Jalen Milroe, literally, if you look in his eyes through his helmet during the game, he literally looks confused. Understand they got the new technology this year where the plays are coming directly into the helmet. When he's getting that plays from the helmet, he looks lost, right? And you can tell by the continuity on the football field. Now, true enough, that offensive line was horrid this past weekend. Number 75 was just bad. That right tackle for Alabama was getting whipped all night long by South Florida. Now, granted, we do struggle with South Florida. Okay, they struggled last year in a torrential downpour last year with South Florida, the game that Jalen Milroe was benched in. So they give them problems. However, I don't see that, even though they won big on the scoreboard, I'm really not seeing what I want to see from Alabama to say, hey, that team is a threat to win a national championship, and that offense will be able to play with some of the top teams in the country. My most impressive team also builds off what I'm saying about Alabama. I don't see them being able to play with the Texas right now, right? I don't see them being able to go toe-to-toe, head-to-head if it gets into a shootout, because I don't see us being able to be in a shootout and win a football game. So Alabama was my most least impressive, and also Notre Dame. I can't leave them out. After coming off the win from A&M, man, winning 23-13, beating Texas A&M, being on a high, we all know with them being an independent in the 12-team playoff this year, if that weak schedule they got, that horrible, sorry schedule they got, if they beat Texas A&M and won out, they were damn near in the playoff automatically, right? With them losing to Northern Illinois this weekend, just put a real big damper on them. Now, granted, it is in the second week of the season. They got enough time to make up for that. They could still run the table. Like I just mentioned, that that schedule is terrible, so they should run the table. But I just got a problem with Marcus Freeman, y'all. He ain't getting the job done in Notre Dame. In 3 years, he has been very unimpressive, right? He's lost all big games, and he continuously loses games like this that he shouldn't lose. So those are my two unimpressive teams. And like I mentioned, man, Hancock already broke it down. Texas looked like a dog. Like that win going into the big house and putting it on Michigan like they did. Now, granted, we know Michigan's not Michigan of last year. New head coach, new quarterback, new running backs, all they knew everywhere. And I ain't know this. The man just signed his contract today. He has been working at Michigan. Coach Moore has been working at Michigan under a memorandum of understanding, right? MOU. He didn't even have an actual contract until he signed that contract today. And that's crazy that he signs the contract after the week they get beat down by Texas, right? Because I'm pretty sure the rumblings was the instability if he was going to really be the guy if they hadn't signed him to a contract yet. So Michigan, they look bad, but watching Texas go in there and beat them down like that and do what they're supposed to do was the most impressive thing of the weekend. I'm with Han. Right now, if you ask me, that's the best looking team in the country.
Yeah. Hey, D-Will, can we go back? Well, I need to put one more team on there that's unimpressive, and that's Colorado. And I might be stealing Big Homie's thunder, but these are the things that worry me about Colorado is that you put all this big bullseye on these kids every week. Everybody's homecoming or Super Bowl, and that you just cannot beat. And I mean, I love Prime to death, but the things that he does and the way he is, you better be damn good and be able to back that up because they're waiting to pounce. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's from the media, that's from people who laughing in your ear and all that. Like I said, there are a lot of people out there that say they ain't vote for Trump till they pull that curtain. It's the same way with Colorado. There's a lot of people out there in your face. Oh yeah, Deion, but they can't wait. And they revel in the failure. They love it. And, you know, he doesn't do himself any favors. I hated that Shedeur left the field before the game was over. It was a bad look. I don't know if he was trying to get to the restroom. It doesn't matter. You know, that was a bad look. And all it does is add fuel to the fire that the program is not a tight ship. You know, it just adds fuel to the fire. And I hate that because, I really pull for Deion. I pull for the program. But again, unimpressive. Colorado was very unimpressive this weekend.
And Big H, let me jump on in there real quick. And I agree with what you said. However, I just think they're not very good. Okay, no. Like I think that boils down. And so when they do lose a game, you're able to pull out all the things. So what's the old saying? It's all good when you're winning. Right? It's all good when you're winning, but that comes from a media aspect, right? The media can say what they want to say when you're winning, but it doesn't affect you. But as soon as you lose, they're able to jump on you, and now all your transgressions become front and center, right? And I think that's what's happening with Deion. I think it's a tight ship. I think the program is ran in a very tight ship type of way. I think they work hard like everybody else. You never hear of any kids getting in any trouble, right? You don't hear of any problems within the program. However, I just don't think they're very good. And with the notoriety that they get with having 2 top 5 picks on your team at quarterback and wide receiver or cornerback, wherever you want to put Travis Hunter, having those 2 guys on your team, you expect them to be good. But it's just lipstick on a pig. They got 2 good players. The rest of them suck. The other 85 ain't that very good, right? So, and they got some other good players that are going to play. Like Horn is a really good wide receiver, has a chance to play on the next level. The freshman left tackle, he's going to be good over time, right? Once he leaves Colorado next year. But my point is, they're just not a very good roster. And I think with them not being a good roster, it's easy pickings to say it's issues within the program, when in actuality, that program's probably ran as good as any program in the country.
Yeah. And then don't take what I mean about that it's not a well-run organization. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's run differently than the status quo. And when you are different, you better be able to back it up when it counts. Make the main thing the main thing. The main thing is to win, and they're not winning at the main thing. So anything that happens, like both of you and I are saying, anything that happens that isn't conducive to the powers that be, they're gonna harp on it. They're gonna jump on it. And like I said, it was a bad look. When he walked off the field, I think my son was sitting with me. I said, "That's a bad look." And the next day, I was watching one show, and the first thing they talked about was him leaving the field early and how that looked, and how he looks like a spoiled rich kid, and all those things. And that's what happens when you're driving the Tesla trucks and all the things that come with it. And I don't begrudge him, because you're earning those stuff. You out there earning, you're fine. That's fine. But like I said in the beginning, you better keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is win. And they're not winning right now. And I'm with you. I don't think they can win, because I don't think they're very good in the important parts of the field. That's the line play. They are horrible in the trenches. They can bring in Warren Sapp. They can dig up Deacon Jones. It doesn't matter. They can run on. There's no pressure. They can't get to the quarterback. They had Junior Patrick Mahomes out there, and he's looking like Patrick Mahomes. So it's a problem, man. And it's gonna be a long year, like if it continues.
Yeah. All right. My impressive was Texas, and I was go Texas and Georgia playing this coming up. This could be the rivalry of who is the best team in the nation early. So we'll see. Sark has been getting a lot of crap because he lost his first and second string running backs early. And Malik Murphy transferred, and he kept the Manning kid, but Quentin Ewers came back, and hey, they said, well, what can we do without a run game? And big ups to Sark and the Texas Longhorn, but more impressive, the defense has shown to be really, really good, and that is not even his forte. He made a championship team look like a non-Power 4 school. It made Michigan look very, very little leaguish, as I should say. Unimpressive, Notre Dame. I just cannot believe that. Man, Notre Dame look horrible. My second one was Penn State. The two big think they would go roll and run and do their thing last week. They look god awful. After an impressive first week, they look god awful this second week. I just and follow close behind them is Iowa. I mean, come on, Iowa. Y'all every year it's the same thing. Y'all build us up to let us down, and I'm just like, bro, yeah, it's crazy. And to touch on this Deion thing, to touch on Colorado, I would say this, and this is what I surmise: that Deion, he's been this way. He's always been this way. He gets some eyes on him, and gets some eyes. He's always been the talker, always been the marketing strategist. He's always been good at marketing himself. But I think what we are missing, or a lot of the people are missing, is that his skill can bag his marketing up. He's not playing now. So all of the bullseyes that he's putting on the kids, they're not at Deion level, skill level to back up what he's putting out. And his coaching, let's be real, his coaching is not a part of his skill level. If his coaching was much, much better, then they'll be winning. But I think,
but Big Homie, it's not about his coach. He's just got to be as a head coach. He has to delegate and make sure that his people out there doing the right things, that they're calling the right plays. That what you do is you impart your personality. You say what you want done. That's why you have an offense coordinator. That's why you have a defense coordinator. Now they're supposed to carry out your plan. I think as a head coach, if a head coach is trying to run everything, he's not going to be successful. He's not going to do everything. Now he may have a little more weight on one side of the ball, like Nick was defensive, and he took care of the DBs. But he allowed Kirby to coach his defense. He allowed the offense. That was a whole different ball game. So I just think that he has to get better. Either he has to pick a better staff. He got to get some boys in them trenches. That's just all it is to it. His offensive and defensive lines are bad. That's all I can see, Big Homie. That's why I don't know if I'm gonna put his coaching on it, because you just gotta make decisions as a head coach. Whether you're going for it on fourth down, you're gonna punt, you're gonna do. Those are the figurehead decisions that you have to make during the game. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and I guess what I'm saying, I'm not saying his coaching per se, but what I'm saying is who's going to get the blame if they win or if they lose?
Oh, he is.
Coach.
He
so
is.
In that title, he's got to get better at whether developing a better staff, getting more players that could get seeing more. Does he need to get better recruit these guys? I mean, we often say that the bigger the star of who you were can't necessarily see the superstardom in other kids. So does he need to get more? Does he need to get a better scouting department or whatever? Whatever it is, he's still a coach, and it all falls on him. So either way, he's gonna get the blame or the credit. So, but in at the same time, his skill level was much better than what he's doing on the sideline, and that's just a fact. And I don't think that's not gonna change anytime soon or no time soon.
Hey, can I throw this in there real quick?
Yeah.
He lost one game, right? Like, I understand they only won 4 games last year, right? Started off hot, started off 3-0, and then they went 1-8 down the stretch, right? However, he took over a program that was a 1-11 the year prior to that. So it's not like he's Kalen DeBoer and he took over a program where the cupboard is super full and all you got to do is cook the meal. All the ingredients are there. So he has to build what he needs. However, he's in an era where he has his son, who is a #1 draft pick, and he has Travis Hunter, who is a #1 draft pick. Those are type of talents that he should be getting in 5 years when he's built that program. Unfortunately, he got him in the beginning of his tenure, right? So the pieces around them just aren't good enough. However, we overstated it a little bit, in my opinion. It's just been, he lost one game to Nebraska, who is a rival who they beat last year, who all offseason wanted to beat them. That was their Super Bowl, as Shador said. That was their Super Bowl in that place at night, primetime game. So we got to take a little bit of that into account, right? Let's see how he comes out next week against Colorado State and see if he can show better and if he can play better and win or at least compete. Because I'm not expecting much from Colorado, but they have the talent at a couple of positions to stand up, and we know that's not enough to compete on a week-in, week-out basis.
But the issue is, though, Coach, is that he said all last year, we coming. And then when they won those couple of games, he said, we here. You know how he said it. And this is my point about what I was talking about in the beginning. When you start to do that, and you bring those eyes, you bring that attention to yourself, when you start to get measured against success, because think about all the stardom, all the flash that came to those first 4 games. The sidelines were full with Snoop Dogg, with whatever. So you start to get measured by what you have accomplished. You yourself, you started the program today talking about Alabama. And if you go back 1 week, I told you started to get measured against yourself. They looked very dominant in that first game. He only threw 9 passes, but 7 of them were complete for well over 200 yards and they look great. But then this week, it didn't look the same. So you start to measure against, well, wait a minute, what's wrong? And that's what's wrong. That's what's going to happen with Colorado. I agree with you. It's only 2 games in. But at this time last year, there was a buzz in Colorado all over college football the first 4 weeks of the season. And Prime was up here. Colorado was here. Now, everybody that he passed on the way, they sitting there waiting on him to come back down to earth. And guess what? And you know what they're going to do? They're going to get in that butt. They're waiting on it. And this is what I was saying about putting that target on these kids. Because that's the key word we got to remember. These are kids. You know, these are, now they've probably been successful all their young lives, but now they're going to face adversity.
They ain't no damn kids. They ain't no kids.
Well, I mean, you know, when I look at them, D-Will, I'm 60 now, everybody kids.
Exactly. But yeah. They grown ass men.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is
they millionaires, Han.
I agree. But their maturity level ain't a millionaire. You understand? They still in their mind, they're young boy. That's the same young boy that next year, 1 in a million might be gone if nobody tell him what to do with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by kid, the mental aspect of what they have and what they still hadn't registered with them. I'm not a millionaire, I'm nowhere near, but I can remember now, look back and say, boy, it was a good time. I had money back then that I should still have. I don't have it now because a fool and his money are soon parted. And I was a fool at the time. So these kids can be that same way. But all I'm saying is the pressures, everything that they're going to be faced with right now can affect them. And I think if there's anything that I kind of fault Dion for, I think he should shield them a little bit more from that. And that's all. Just kind of be a barrier and let these guys develop as men a little bit more. I think he puts everybody's not on the same level. Some people can handle it, some people can't. And you know, he has to know his program. But again, I hope this doesn't sound like I'm being derogatory toward him, because I really truly want him to succeed. I want Colorado to succeed. But I got a funny feeling, D-Will, when Shedeur and Travis leave, I think Dion got the U-Haul already registered, ready to go. I think he's going to.
Mike Norvell's finna get fired, so he coming home?
And
I just think he's about to watch his boys play in the league. I think he through.
Yeah, and let's not put the Cowboys out of the picture as well. I know you hate to hear that, hand, but I mean it is what it is. Jerry Jones loves
Dion.
Jerry loves him.
He loves him.
Listen, if Dion becomes a Dallas Cowboy on the coaching staff, can you imagine the value of?
He got to be the head coach. He can't be on staff.
Well, I'm
he
just saying.
Be the head coach.
Yeah, so even if he's the head coach, they $10 billion now. With the signing of CeeDee Lamb and Dak, I think now it's $12 billion. If Dion comes on to be the head coach, $15 billion easy. That would be the value of the Cowboys at that particular point. And we all know that Jerry Jones Super Bowl is getting the value of the Cowboys in the billions and keep going higher and higher and higher. In each and every year, while he's not winning the NFL Super Bowl, he's winning the money bag Super Bowl. I can tell you that much. And to D. Will's point about the Colorado thing before we move on, yeah, they haven't lost but one game, but it's how they lose. The same way they lost last year about nobody can block for Shedeur. Hell, even the first game, he didn't have a whole lot of time.
No.
And then they sacked him, and they continue, and they in this game it was he's getting sacked more and more, and you know
I think he's been sacked like 58 times in the last 2 seasons.
And even when he's not getting sacked, y'all, he's getting hit. He's taking some shots.
Yeah, he gets pressured a lot.
So
that just shows how good he is.
Yeah, he's very good.
It just shows how good he is.
Yeah, it's how they're taking it, and coach Coach on here saying that the Louis Vuitton luggage look like Larry Vuitton. So, well, yeah. But it is what it is. We'll see what they do against. Then he had beef with the dude from Colorado State last year. So we'll
believe
see.
me, this one is circle. Colorado State. This is circle. They're coming loaded for bear. I'm telling you, think it was tough. And then there was some injuries that Colorado had last week. I think Shiloh is hurt. I think he's out with a broken forearm. It was some other guys that got banged up. Then I think his other safety is out for half the game for a targeting penalty. So they're going to be limited in the back end. And we saw Colorado State kind of air raid them a little last year. So
okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of looking at this one as another L, to be honest with you. I'm gonna call it right now.
I know Colorado got a circle, but are you gonna circle them on the sheet though?
Oh, I punched the hole in.
Okay, all right. Okay, big homie. All right.
I'm taking that.
I can't get in the car with you on that until they show me a little better stability in the offensive line, defensive line. It is what it is. But all right, let's move on to our next thing. Who would be your surprise team to make the 12-team playoff right now? If you had to choose, if you had to pick, will it be we got the Power Four? What do they call it? Oh, the Group of Five, Group of Four,
Group of Five.
Your Group of Five. You got to go that far. Somebody who would be surprisingly for your impressive team to make the 12-team playoff. And we're gonna start with you again.
Yeah, I didn't know we were talking Group of Five. I just thought you were talking about teams that are kind of like on that fringe and what out there. And the two teams I had.
That's fine too.
I had, and then D. Will kind of talked about this team early in the year, and then one of them is Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss, and my other mentioned team was, like I said, I'm not all the way on the limb, but Tennessee has impressive on offense. They got a lot of weapons.
Your second mention of Tennessee now.
I know. Look, I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared, D. Will. I want to see them play a quality team. Okay. I do want to see them play a quality team. But those are my two fringe teams that I think are kind of like flying under the radar a little bit.
Okay. Those are good picks. I might now look, I may get all the way in the car with you on that. Matter of fact, when I go in the store and get a couple of lottery tickets, I'm gonna get you one.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm all the way in the car with you on them two. I love those two picks. D. Will, who you got?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, this team seems to always let you down every single year. Whenever we say they're gonna be good, they let you down. And we've been saying this probably for the last 7 or 8, maybe 10 years. The U is back, right?
Yeah.
But however, I'm going with Miami. That team,
I like it,
looks really good so far this year. And here's the other reason I'm picking them as my fringe surprise team. They're in the ACC.
Yep.
Right? An ACC representative is going to get a first-round bye. That should be Miami, the way we've seen Clemson and Florida State look, right? And North Carolina. They really don't have anybody to fight with in the ACC. So they should get that first-round bye. That puts them in a good position to make some noise inside the 12-team playoff. So if I'm gonna take a surprise team, I'm gonna go with Miami because, like I say, they sit in the catbird seat in the ACC.
Good call. Good call. I like that.
Yeah, that's a hell of a call. And how you put it, where they got a real smooth, they got a clear path to putting themselves.
But they shut us down every year.
They do, D. Will. I agree. They fall back and fall off the cliff somewhere along the line. So I'm with you. I want them to prove it also.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Good deal. Shout out to Marlon who just joined us on the chat. All right, fellas. Let's get to the real nitty-gritty. We thought we was gonna talk about this at the beginning, but Club Shay Shay just took over everything and all the other kind of stuff. They say Club Shay Shay may not get OnlyFans now.
Oh no!
But anyway, Tyreek Hill. And I titled this show is that the NFL has to do something. Because the reason why Kaepernick was kneeling and all these other people were kneeling in the NFL was an example that we saw with Tyreek Hill and the mistreatment of veterans and how the veterans of who are protecting our United States were being treated as well. And the NFL just didn't see, I guess they didn't see it. And I'm just like, bro, what is it going to take? I mean, how many people have to actually get mistreated and get abused and die for you to understand what we actually trying to get you to see? So the body cam came out 2 days ago. And boy. Now, I will say this. I don't care how irate or how cocky Tyreek Hill may have sounded. It's just no way for anybody to treat you that way about a speeding ticket. Just give me the ticket, let me go, and we on about our business. I mean, it was just totally awful and unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. And we wondering why some people act the way they act and respond the way they respond.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, this is just unruly. And to have teammates to come to support you, to say, listen, I'm gonna stay here until y'all finish or whatever. They get mistreated as well. I mean, they put Calais Campbell, he's 6'8", 90, 300. They put him in handcuffs.
Yeah, the issue I have with this whole thing is that here again, they always find these prominent Black media personalities to come out and shade the argument. Like, well, he was wrong for not complying or not doing what they asked him to do. What did he expect was going to happen? And it is a shame that, you know, I'm sitting here, I got kids, you know, and you guys deal with the younger guys, so you tell them the same thing that I tell my kids. Look, when you're in those situations with the police,
right,
try to find a way to come home that night. You know,
agreed.
we as a community, when the sirens, they don't even have to be sirens. I can be driving, and if there's a cop in my rearview mirror, I get a little antsy. I could be totally, I don't have anything going on, nothing wrong, but I'm antsy. I'm a little anxious because he's behind me. And I'll do it. I might change lanes. I might turn up, whatever, because I know what can happen. And it's a shame that, you know, they sit and say, well, you have to do what they tell you to do. But how many times have you scrolled through Instagram and seen where a cop has pulled over a white guy and he said, I know my rights. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to get out this car.
Right.
And the cop doesn't drag him out of the car. He doesn't get thrown on the pavement. He doesn't get handcuffed. He doesn't get killed. But as a Black man, that don't happen. And so the thing is that we have to have a conversation and say, we have to be this certain way because we're afraid that it can go left and we can go home. Whereas a white guy can question why you're pulling me over. What did I do for you to do that? We see it all the time. I've seen white ladies cuss these cops out on all their body cams. They show it.
Yeah.
But how many of those happen when it's a Black guy? We've seen military guys in their uniforms get beat and drug out, or almost killed and whatever all the time. So it's not, I don't want to hear from Charles Barkley. I don't want to hear from Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to hear from these guys saying what we should do. and how we got to do it. It's a shame that I got to worry every time my son drive off to go or whatever, or my wife or anybody, because of what can happen in this place. It's terrifying, man. It is terrifying to think of my son out and not coming home, because he may not even be doing nothing wrong. But that night, that guy with the badge might be having a bad night. And it could escalate into something where I lose my child. So seeing that with Tyreek Hill, and the thing is, D. Will and Big Homie, everybody in Miami know Tyreek Hill. Everybody. You don't even have to know where he's gonna be in the next hour. He's gonna be right in that building playing football.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what you did. What is? Give him his ticket and let him go. He not. What is it? You know him. When you ran his plates, you knew who the hell he was. So this is my point about when they get these black guys in the media on to help their point, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
That pisses me off, because you are a part of the problem. I'm done, y'all.
I agree. Well, I see we got our reel for next week. Yeah, Opus clip. Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, D. Will. I'm not sure if you're gonna be as passionate. Well, I just say this: act like Tyreek Hill played for Alabama, then we can go.
Well, and it's not even that. The big point is, it's a couple of things that I took from this whole situation. First is something you mentioned, Big Homie, and the thing about it is, when we're in these type situations, everybody can handle it differently, right? Everybody could have done a better job. Cool. If it told you what went on in my life, I could have did a better job a billion times, right? So to condemn somebody for that is just downright wrong. So we got that out the way. Secondly, why is it that if I'm getting a speeding ticket or a traffic violation or traffic infraction, why am I being asked to get out of the car? Right? It's a traffic violation. Why are you asking me to get out of the car to write me a ticket? Right? That's second. Third, in this situation, bruh, he's in a $500,000 car. You done tried to open the door and don't even know how to damn open the door because it lifted up and almost hit you in the face. So obviously, this ain't no regular black dude.
Right.
In front of the Hard Rock Stadium. Now get this. 2 years ago, on this same weekend, I was in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami watching the Miami Dolphins play the New England Patriots, right? So I've been to that stadium and been around it before a game. You can't speed. It's bumper to bumper. If you watch where they had him, it's constant traffic flowing. So how can he even? The speed limit's probably 45. So if he was going 60, whoop-de-damn-do. He's getting to the stadium. Thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, wherever the hell I'm at now. You heard the cop whose body cam footage they showed. He wasn't the aggressive cop. The cop whose body camera they showed, you hear him when everything first happens and the cop goes and knocks on the window and he lets the window down and hands him his license. The one cop walks up and said, "Oh, it's Tyreek Hill." Then he comes back and the guy he told it was Tyreek Hill was the aggressive cop who now comes in, "Oh, I'm about to prove a point."
Yep.
However, you're pulling me over for speeding in an area where it's very hard to speed. I gave you my license, which is what you asked me for. So why are you needing me to roll my window back down? True enough, he put a crack in the window. He don't have to do much more than that. So my problem with this whole situation is it was blown up to the point because it was an egotistical cop who got out of line, which always happens in these type of situations, right? And my thing is there's never going to be a solution to this problem, right? Black people are always going to be looked at as a threat. And as time progresses, we're going to be looked at as even more of a threat. It's going to happen. But if you realize these cops that were doing this, they weren't white. They weren't black. They were Hispanic. True. Right? That's a completely different dynamic. Now, Hispanics haven't been historically racist against blacks, but Hispanics come to this country, and where do they assimilate to? Where do foreigners assimilate to? When do you see a foreigner come to this country and assimilate to black culture? Now, it don't happen very often. They might go out there and be like the chick from Australia and do breakdancing, but they're not assimilating into black culture. They're not moving to the projects. They're not moving to Section 8 homes. They're not moving into those type of areas, right? And don't get me wrong, don't jump on me. I know it's affluent black people. All black people don't live in them areas. Before somebody say that, I get that part, right? However, my point is, it always seems to happen in that way. Now, lastly, I'm gonna be okay with this. In those type of situations, like Hancock said, bro, just roll your window down. Give them your license. I understand you pissed they pulled you over, but just give them your license, which you did. They want you to roll the window down. Roll it down, bro. We know you ain't in the car smoking. We know you ain't in the car doing nothing illegal. You know you got to get to the stadium. Bro, just get to the stadium. Give him the license, move on. He's an asshole. Cool. How many times have you encountered an asshole in your life and you had to deal with him?
Yep.
Just deal with him. It's no different. So my point is, I'm playing devil advocate on my own point. However, just get home. Get to your destination. However it is, if you rich, Tyreek, you stop having all them babies, but you rich. So you can pay the ticket. Just pay the ticket, man. Keep it moving.
So we getting comments in, and I'm with you, D. Will. We all could have handled it better, but if I'm going to take accountability, so should everybody around that's involved as well. So if I should roll my window down, then you shouldn't be so aggressive as a cop.
You shouldn't be putting your hands on me, period, for a speeding ticket. Exactly. It shouldn't even escalate to that situation.
Every time I've gotten a speeding ticket, I gave my license. They walked back to the car. Would you want me to roll my window back down till you get back? So you go to the car, you write the ticket, then you come back, you have me sign it. So I don't, what do they do it different in Miami?
Nah.
But you beating on that man's window.
Right.
Like,
you beating on the window, and because he asked you to roll the window down, but what does that have to do with anything else other than I have the right to say no? To Hancock's point, we've seen many videos of other persuasions that has been rudely to the cops, and they understood.
Like I said, see what happens now, big homie, is that and like Maurice is saying, it's like now it's like I'm defending what Tyreek did or whatever. It's not in a defense of Tyreek. It's nothing to do with that. It's that these things escalate more on black citizens than they do anywhere else. We've seen it happen with mass killings. And with the people that's doing the shooting, when it's a white guy, they take him, he miraculously makes it to the jail. Those type of things happen.
Burger King first, then the jail.
Right. So this is all I'm saying. It's not I'm trying to bump for Tyreek or what he did or whatever. All I'm saying again is it's a shame that you gonna have to have that talk with your child as he gets older to let him know you got to be different to get home at night. You can't be the maybe your white friend and get home okay. It don't work that way. And that's the thing we talk about. I don't know where your kids might go to school or whatever, and they might have a kid of friends that grow up in different communities or whatever. But certain communities for black people, it's, you know, and hey, it's, look, every instance is different. Don't get me wrong. It is some different instances out there. But all I'm saying is, don't go out and get these media people to spin this thing and make it seem like it ain't that way. Because all he had to do was roll down his window. No, we've seen people say, look, man, I got a gun. I'm telling you, and Philando didn't make it home.
Nope.
So it don't matter. That's the thing I'm saying. Is that even when all the compliance are met, we still might not make it home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I was gonna say, and this is to Marlon's point, what putting Calais Campbell in handcuffs has to do with Tyreek Hill? What does that have to do with any of this in the situation as far as being the cop? He was there in support of his friend to see what the situation was, and because he didn't comply to what the cop wanted him to do, then he put him in handcuffs. I mean,
well, and my thing is, if you watch the body cam footage, he did comply. He was like, I'll stand wherever you want me to stand. Exactly. I'm just not leaving. And he has every right to be there. He doesn't have to leave. As long as he is at a safe distance and he's not interfering with the investigation or traffic stop or situation, whatever it may be, as long as he's not interfering with that, he can be there. He can even record. He can take his phone out and record, which in my opinion, I suggest people do from a safe distance, right?
Yes.
But my thing is placing him in handcuffs. As you said, he's pulling up in a damn Rolls Royce Cullinan. He and Tyreek Hill in a Ferrari, and he's 6'8", and you notice Tyreek Hill, and they're in front of the Hard Rock Stadium. You know who these people are. You know this the route they take to get to their entrance to the stadium each and every Sunday. So that was putting Calais Campbell in handcuffs was simply, I'm about to show y'all.
Yep.
Right? Listen, I don't care that you're rich and famous. You black N-word, I'm finna show you. I'm Latino, right? I'm Latino. White people love me. I deal with white people. We're friends. I've assimilated to white culture, so I can treat you this way also. That's what I take from it.
Yeah, it was sad. Man, yeah. Let's see. Coach said they were scared of the two large black men. Well, Tyreek ain't that large, so I guess they were talking about Jonnu Smith and Calais. Because Tyreek, he every bit 5'8", if that.
If that.
But either way, I was just terrified. So my last question is this: what can the NFL do to try to get back in with the people who's been trying to support the mistreatment of colored people when it comes to police brutality? What can the NFL do?
Crickets? Nothing?
Exactly. Nothing.
It's nothing they can do. They can spray paint a logo on the field. They can put BLM on the field. They can run commercials during the Super Bowl when it's high visibility.
If the players start kneeling again, then is that?
Well, I'm saying, what is that even going to do? It's just going to be bad PR. And as we see from the numbers that came out from this weekend in the NFL, it was record numbers, right? 21 million people watched Kansas City and Baltimore. 21 million watched their Thursday night football game, right? So even though it would have been bad PR, we know in this game that we're in this media game, any press is good press, no matter what they're saying. As long as you're not going to jail for it, any press is good press. So, even if the players start kneeling or they start protesting, it's going to be just as it was during the George Floyd era. It's going to be everybody hold up their black fist until the next kickoff comes.
That's it. That's it. To the next kickoff, next playoff, next game.
Yep. I have a solution. The NFL.
Look, man, as long as, like D would say, as long as those checks are cashing, big homie, it doesn't matter. It does not matter because the only thing that's going to affect them is dollars. And like he said, record numbers are going to continue to happen. That's why these networks continue to pay all this big money to get these TV deals. They know people are going to watch the NFL. It's going to happen. It's a cash machine. And now that gambling is involved in it, and they pulled the curtain back and said, yeah, we know y'all been gambling on. Now we're going to get a piece of it. It's bigger than ever. It's bigger than ever. People don't care who playing because they got money on the game on some form of fashion. Whether it's fantasy, props, the game, it's a business. So it doesn't matter. They can kill 70 black people tomorrow, big homie. And next week, kickoff going to be at 1 o'clock.
Yep. Hey, big homie, I know you got a solution, and I know I want you to give it to us, but let me address Maurice's comment real quick. It's a demographic of white people that get roughed up. Okay, all white people ain't created equal. Okay, you'll see some white people get roughed up. However, it ain't the ones that's going to the Hard Rock Stadium pulling up in a $500,000 car. I guarantee they won't get roughed up. Show me a video of Jerry Jones or Robert Kraft getting roughed up. Show it to me, right? Like I've seen coaches, i.e. Steve Sarkisian, get pulled over sloppy drunk. Sloppy, and nothing happens, right? I saw Scotty Scheffler get ushered when he got pulled over in the same situation as Tyreek Hill. He gets ushered. He wasn't snatched out the car and thrown to the ground and placed in handcuffs. He was ushered, asked to get out of the car, and he actually ran over somebody. He drove past the police, and that didn't happen. If Tyreek Hill would have drove past the police like Scotty Scheffler, they would have shot that car down. Period. No matter who was inside. So I get what Maurice is saying. They do this to race bait. However, you can't race bait on all demographics. It can be Michelle Obama. They're going to take her out the car. Yeah, if it's Robert Kraft or one of those others I just mentioned, they're not going to do it. So let's look at the type of white person that's getting roughed up in those situations.
All right, this is my solution. Bear with me. If a black cop or two black cops happens to do the same thing to a son of somebody big time, let's say like a Robert Kraft son or somebody, let's say Roger Goodell's son. If he gets roughed up by two black cops and get mistreated the same way, the same thing happens. Whatever you would do to fix that situation is the same thing I want you to do to fix this situation. Because I can guarantee you something will be done in that situation, regardless of how it went down or whatever the case may be. The cops probably would not have any more jobs. But because it happened to you, now you finally understand.
Yep.
You know, and we always talk about until the money gets hit, and I have a second that until it happens to you, now you understand.
And Big H.O., I feel you, but I still don't think they understand. I don't. Because systemic racism is different from an injustice, right? People try to write off some of these situations as injustices. No, that's systemic racism. This is how they feel about us. It's not about a situation where you badmouthed the cop, y'all got into it and he just whooped you. That happens to some, but I've seen white men attack police, literally attack them. And things like that don't happen. So I get it, right? I get it. I don't think that would change anything if it start happening to them because they haven't had the years and years and years of oppression and trauma that we deal with when it comes to those type of situations, to have it to even affect anybody outside of who it directly affects.
But let me ask y'all this, let's be real before we move on, because I know we got to go, and I know D-Wiz, you got to roll too.
Yeah.
But if you get pulled over by a cop, and you are, you know, if you get pulled over by a cop, and he's coming up to your car, you can't tell me you're not thinking that, am I gonna get home? Look what happened to these other people that complied, or maybe didn't comply the way that they wanted them to. So when by the time the cops get to your car, I already got attitude. I'm already sitting on the side of a fence that says that you're coming to me, you're only stopping me because of the color of my skin.
Mm.
So I'm already either nervous, afraid, or irritated or anxious, or whatever the case may be. Now, if that comes out during our interaction, it ain't because of that day, it's because of what has happened in the past. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, I'm pretty sure, and I can't walk in Tyreek Hill's shoes, but I'm pretty sure that in his mind, he thought maybe because I'm an athlete, because I'm driving this car, because I'm whatever, that they have some kind of power trip because of they have a badge. Because that's all that we've been seeing over and over again. That's all we see. So he tried his best to, I'm sure he tried his best to get to the game, to get home, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, if it sounded like he was annoyed and irritated, wouldn't you be? I mean, it's tough. It's rough. It is what it is, but that's going to end our hot news. Yeah, that's going to
We talking about a lot in that hot news, y'all. Woo!
Yeah, that was pretty hot.
Yeah, so we don't have any guests coming on or whatever. So, yep, that's going to be it. Let's see. Coach said, Marlon said, he said he have no issue with the touchdown celebration.
Not at all.
But to Marlon's point, the NFL got what they needed out of Tyreek Hill. Give me a whole bunch of fantasy points and get Miami a win, and we good to go. So why even care? All right, let's see what Coach said. Was it appropriate what Tyreek Hill did at the game? Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was very appropriate.
Yep. It's our culture, man.
Yeah, that's I guess that's why he was responding to that. Yep, yeah, very, very appropriate. So boom, boom. Hot dang. All right, baller buses and bus stop. Here we go. I know D-Will, you probably have to go, but if you can hang around and do that, then let me know.
I can give you mine real quick because I do got to go.
Go ahead, give me all three of yours. Baller buses and bus stop.
My baller of the week is A'ja Wilson. I love her. She's awesome. She's the best basketball player in the WNBA right now. I'm shocked that I even gave WNBA some love, but I gotta give A'ja Wilson some love because she doggone deserves it. My buster of the week is Uncle Shay Shay. Like I'm sorry, y'all. Like all this PR you finna give me and everything else, you a buster, dog. Like you in there, you saying names. You know that's somebody's wife or girlfriend. You in there power driving. You in there breathing like Shrek. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
He my buster for the week, man. And even though it just came out this morning, I had to change my whole bust up because he deserved that trophy. He deserved that trophy. And my boy stop, man, is Hancock. don't ever tell me to play Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson ever damn again. Hey, man, G-Money blasted me this weekend. Pause. He blasted me because I got in damn Aaron Rodgers, who got 5 points. He got 5 points. And I got Anthony Richardson throwing 68 yards in the air off his back foot bombs to go for a 30 ball. But so, Hancock, boy, stop.
There it is.
There it is, man.
All right, bro. I know you got the roll.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. So I'll be back on, man, next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, man.
You already
Hold
know.
it down, Wiz.
You already know
Let's
what
go,
you
man.
got to say before you leave.
Say that again.
Radio. You already know what you got to tell them before you leave. Eyeball Radio.
Oh, yeah, man. Y'all already know. LittleIBALLradio.com. Listen, hey, we got the #1 interactive website coming up very, very soon. I'm working with GoDaddy. I got GoDaddy doing the website. So it's coming real soon, man. Y'all be on the lookout for that. It's going to house everything. So y'all know we be streaming everywhere with our lives and podcasts. Everything's going to be streamlined directly to eyeballradio.com. We're going to stream from there. So y'all can catch us on there, man. We're going to be in one spot, so we ain't going to be hard to find.
Hey, but hold on. Before you go, I caught the line of the night. Go ahead and tell them about that fall league, baby. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Come on, bro. Like, we are going to do a fall league here in Montgomery. They got fall leagues in Mobile. They got fall leagues in Huntsville. They got fall leagues in East Alabama. They got fall leagues in Tuscaloosa. They got fall leagues in Birmingham. We sit here in the capital city, and it's all we damn doing is waiting on Thursday and Friday night football. Hell no. We're about to do a fall league in the city of Montgomery, sponsored by Eyeball. So get ready for it. So Montgomery teams hit me up. Guess how many Montgomery coaches hit me up today about the fall league? None. So I'm telling you right now, that's why we don't win state champions around here, and that's why our kids falling behind, and everybody else going high major D1, and we going Alabama JUCO. But I digress. So fall league's on the way.
All right, man.
Hold it down, Wiz. Do your thing, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good show, man.
All right. There he is. My main man, Weez on the board. All right, man. Ball of the week goes out to, I'm going with Dak Prescott.
Okay.
I know you didn't like it, hand, but listen.
No, I didn't like the pay, but I'm with you on the ball.
Ball of that. Listen, he got paid the day of the game. He got $80 million to sign his name, bro, and he went out and did exactly what needed to do. So
yeah, he did.
He baller for me for Dak Prescott for getting paid on game day. 30 minutes before the game started, he gets a big old contract, riches in history, and goes out and ball and do what he needed to do with no pressure. He just said, well, no matter whether I'm getting 240, whether I'm getting this or that, I'm still gonna go out and do my thing. So the contract didn't affect him not one bit. It looked like he got better.
Yeah.
With the contract. So that's my baller.
He balled out. I got to give it to him. Well, I'm going with the running back from the 49ers, Mason. He's my baller. 28 rushes, 147 yards. 28 rushes, 147 yards rushing, and 1 touchdown. So he showed out, came in and lit it up for CMC. So Jordan Mason, I think he's from Georgia Tech, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he broke on the scene, man. And I did draft him in my fantasy league. So I always try to take a running back. This is a strategy of a big name back that's on a good team. And I didn't know, if I'd have known that CMC wasn't going to play. See, they didn't release that until game time. But he would have been in my starting lineup, because if you know the history of the 49ers, it doesn't matter what running back is back there, they're productive. You know, CMC takes to another level because he's special. But any running back they put in, Shanahan can get them. They're a factor.
Yes, sir.
So I Jordan Mason is my baller this week.
All right, Marky, he said Dak. Same thing for me. Dak is the baller of the week. Yes, sir. So woo. All right, bust of the week. I was debating this, and I was trying to figure it out. I'm gonna go with Raheem Morris.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Raheem Morris. This is the third straight year that we have not being prepared to play an NFL football game. And I'm sure we'll go get into it, but being unprepared, hand, is not something that you have to do. And I think I told if I didn't tell you this, I'm gonna tell you now. The whole organization been selling us the whole off season about what they done did and how they cooking and they in the kitchen cooking and we signing this person. We go prove to you that Michael Penix was the right pick, and signing Kirk Cousins and getting Michael Penix was the right thing to do. We go prove it to you. Matter of fact, we go prove to you so much we're not gonna let nobody play in preseason, no starters, and we go shut Michael Penix down. You've been selling us all this and getting us hype. And hand, they even said that the whole season was sold out. They've been selling it to us. They sold us an Amazon package. And when we got it Sunday, we found out it was Temu. It was a Temu product. I mean, simple as that. And we found out it was a Temu product because, bruh, that was not it. That was not it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Raheem Morris and and Terry, y'all get my busters for the week. Hancock disappeared. I wait on Hancock to get back. Oh, there you go.
You back in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, my bust is the entire organization of the Falcons, and you kind of touched on it when you talked about selling the goods. But this is what I had said, Big Homie, was that you bringing in a quarterback off an Achilles. Okay, you bringing in some new starters, new positions, and all that, and then you tell me that Drake London is your number one receiver. And I don't buy that. He's not a number one in the NFL. Might be a number one for the Falcons, but he's not a number one in the NFL. They don't have a true number one receiver. And then you go out and get Darnell Paul Mooney coming here, and you think he's gonna be something. He really a 2 or a 3. And I said this, and this is gonna be the song for the whole year for the Falcons. You can put cologne on all you want, but if you don't take a shower, you still stink. And what you're trying to do with this organization is put cologne on, and you didn't take a shower. You're sitting here telling me that you are building for the future, but you're winning now. And you drafted a player 8th overall that you're hoping you won't have to play. But I believe now, Harsh, you're going to start getting calls to bring this kid in and play. It's already starting. I saw on someplace on the internet where they're asking, is it time for Penix to play now? And this is what I told you. This is the reason why they didn't play Penix in the preseason anymore, because they knew this was going to happen. Remember, I told you that. I told you that when they drafted him. I said, you're going to have a problem because this kid is going to look better than Cousins, and then you're going to have a problem trying to keep the natives at bay. And they can't do it because they saw what's up with Kirk. Big homie, go back and watch Kirk Cousins play for the last 5 years. He plays under center, big homie. Where was he at Sunday?
In the shotgun to save his legs, because he's
shotgun and the pistol all game because he can't move. He can't continue. He can't move out from under center to make the stretch plays for the run game. So that lets you know he's not healthy. He's not healthy, and you putting him out there with all these new pieces, all these new frills, and it ain't working. And it ain't gonna work. And you're gonna be 0-2 come Sunday, because Philly's gonna beat you.
They play Monday. I understand what you're saying.
Monday. Thanks for the correction. It's gonna be 0-2, and that's believe me. Out of all that promise and all that whatever, and then you got Kansas City in the next 3-4 weeks, right?
The next week, after that,
you're gonna be 0-3, huh? You're gonna be 0-3,
and then you got New Orleans after that.
So
then Tampa.
And Tampa, to me, looks like the class of the NFC South right now. Now, they didn't play anybody, You know, they played a young team, whatever, but they did what they were supposed to do. So to me, they look like the class. Now, New Orleans did beat up on the squad, but I don't think they played any better. So it is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, getting back to the Falcons, they were my buster, and I think it's going to be problems here in the South the whole year.
Coach said his baller was a high school kid, Alvin Henderson. He rushed for 435 yards and 10 touchdowns in one game.
Oh my God, 10 touchdowns a game?
Yeah, in one game. Good God Almighty!
That's crazy.
Baller said his baller was Jared Mayo winning his first game with the Patriots. Gerard Mayo.
Good call. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Coach said his buster was Will Levis, quarterback, Tennessee.
I know who Marcus Buster is.
He hadn't said yet. Kirk Cousins was a Arthur Blank comfort signing.
Yeah.
And he said the Buster New York Giants will continue to put Daniel Jones on the field. Yeah, that's good. All right, Han. Marlon said that they finessed the fans to renew the PSLs.
But they did a good job. They finessed them well.
Yeah.
Because they got problems.
Falcons going to be 0-3, possibly 0-4 to start the season.
I agree. I totally agree.
They're not going to beat Kansas City. You can forget that.
I don't think they're going to beat Philly either.
Yeah, they ain't going to beat Philly either. So what's going to be the talk when the Falcons come back Monday night from Philadelphia and scored over 10 points? With all the
that Kirk Cousins is injured. They're gonna let on that he's not healthy, and they're gonna have to go with Penix, and then this is gonna be the spin. This is why we drafted him this early. You didn't know he was gonna be there. You got him because you didn't know he was gonna be there, and you made you try to put cologne on this thing. But this is gonna be the spin, big homie. You watch. Is that this is why we got him. This is what we got this kid for. He's gonna be our future, and the future starts now. Watch the spin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be ugly. Yeah. So after they go 0-2, you think I should get Smith on then, or would they be 0-4?
You better put Smith on watch and make sure he's okay. Because Smitty talks, he looks through feather-covered glasses when you talk about the Falcons. He don't be real. See, this is one thing that's different about me. I know the shortcomings of my team. I'm a Cowboy fan through and through. But you don't hear me saying we this and we are. It's not. I see what we are, But I hear all this about the Falcons of this, and they got this going for them, and Drake London, and let's be real about what we got here, man. Ain't nothing special about this team, man. I think the defense is above average. I do like that. I love the additions of the safeties they got, the addition of the safety to go along with what they had. I do think Judon was a good addition. He came in, again, putting cologne on your stink, because you could have drafted DN or so rush in the draft, but you didn't. Yeah. But still, what I'm saying, I like the defense. I think they did a good job, but they didn't play against a team that's an offensive team. They played against a team that is marginal at quarterback and runs the football, and you got beat by them. Didn't score a touchdown, and you got beat by them. I think Philly's going to put up some touchdowns coming up. Or they're going to put enough pressure on you. So you're going to have to score in order to beat them.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. All right, Mark put his bus out there. He did say Watson, so
I do that.
Yeah. I heard a report hand that Cleveland talking about voiding the rest of his contract and releasing him now.
I don't know how can you void a guaranteed deal? His money was guaranteed. Unless he's in trouble, there won't be any way to void it, I don't guess. Because they restructured a lot of his money, but I think his money was guaranteed. I just don't know how you're gonna be able to void it. You probably can cut him. Yeah, you can cut him.
Yeah, you can cut it, but you got to pay him.
You still got to pay him.
They said they knew that oh, that's not it. They knew Kirk Cousins wasn't healthy in training camp.
Yeah.
And it takes a full calendar year to recover from an Achilles injury.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't look mobile, big homie. Talking with the way D. Will was talking, I watched him. He didn't look mobile either. He was struggling getting to those stretch running plays out past the tackle. You could see it. Now his arm looks live as ever, but he does not look mobile at all. He looked like an old man to me. So I think he and Kirk Cousins, it's gonna take a minute before they're able to really, get back to a good mobility standpoint. And it's not like either one of them. Well, I mean, Rodgers moved well when he was young, but I don't really ever recall Kirk Cousins being that fleet of foot anyway.
So my question to you, Han, if you watched the Falcon game, was the defense good or was the Steelers offense bad?
A little of both. I think like I said, I do think the Falcons have a decent defense.
On paper they do, but they didn't.
Yeah,
to me,
but I think what you looked at with one thing that hurt the Falcons, I think that most of the preparation was for Russell Wilson. And then you had to turn around. Your whole game plan was to stop Russell, and then you turn around. Now you got to stop a guy whose real trait is to run the football. So he can break your defense down. Now you got to spy him. You didn't practice for this all week. And now you have to come up with a plan on game day. So I think that played in their favor, played in Pittsburgh's favor a little bit, that, they kept the Falcons kind of off balance a little bit. And they basically just ran the football more than anything. And then when they did hit, you had a lot of one-on-one. And I think that one thing you need to be a little bit surprised, a little bit worried about was that Pickens had his way against your number one cornerback. He really, to me, he kind of cooked. What's the kid? What's the guys from out of Clemson? Number one,
DJ Terrell.
Yeah, he cooked him, and they called one pass interference. I've seen a lot of offensive pass interference. Then this one, it was a push, but I've seen that let go. So I don't know. Like I said, he got cooked to me, and that's kind of troubling when you're gonna be facing AJ Brown and their crew coming in next week. So your secondary. It's going to be more than one receiver you got to account for playing against them.
Next week.
What's that?
You got Worthy the next week with Kansas City and Rice.
Yeah, well, you got Patrick Mahomes who might throw the Andy Reid's son. It don't matter. Patrick Mahomes going to complete it.
All right, Han, you might have your answer right here. Another lawsuit popped out for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I saw one that popped off and he's denying or whatever. So I'm sure Cleveland is doing whatever they can to make this legit.
Be surprised if they did that. Maybe that's why another sexual assault thing came up. Okay. Yeah, so it's in his contract. Marcus said that if anything else come up about this, then we can avoid it.
Well, that's that. I'm sure they're looking to avoid it then, because he looks like a shell of himself. He really does.
Even if they have to make it up, they go do that.
Yeah, they gonna come up with something.
Yeah, they go come up with something for sure. Yep, they will come up with something. All right, man, that's gonna end our Ballers and Busters and Boss Talk. That was funny. All right, let's get to something about our roundtable discussion, so we can talk more about this NFL. Talk more about the Falcons. All right, roundtable discussion. Week 1 preview. Impressed, not so impressive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you go first.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. What stood out to me was the two top teams I saw, which looked to be the class of the league: Kansas City and San Francisco. They look like the class of the NFL, and I'm not gonna say it's not close, but to me, they look like the teams. Now, even though Baltimore played with Kansas City, so, you might want to take that with a grain of salt, really just put San Francisco up there. But I think Baltimore is a good team. But I think Kansas City, San Francisco right now, my top two teams that I've seen. Teams that kind of play with your emotions and you really don't know what to expect or what to see from Dallas and Tampa Bay. I'm going to put them up there. because Dallas did look good, but playing against Cleveland and Cleveland being a little undermanned and underwhelmed, you don't really know what you got in New Orleans. Tampa Bay destroyed the team they played. So anyway, those are two teams that kind of playing with your emotions right now. You really don't know how good they are, but they did show promise. Teams that give me questions, Cincinnati, man, and I don't know. Did you see any of the game with Burrow and how he's kind of favoring that right hand?
No, I didn't.
In that wrist area.
Mm.
Yeah, he just think about that for a while. He's struggling right now coming off of that injury, man. So I'm a little worried about what's going on in Cincinnati, especially with them not paying the two wide receivers. Burrow's injured. They didn't look good at all this week. So they kind of give me a little cause to pause. Miami, they did, turn it on at the end and came back and won. And then Buffalo did the same thing after facing the deficit. So those are three teams that I think are entering the season with some questions. And, we'll see what happens as they move forward.
And I got old Chase, Jamar Chase for my fantasy, and
yeah,
it didn't look good.
Nah, he didn't. But like I said, man, I think Burrow is more injured than they let on.
Yeah, a lot of them were more injured than let on, as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna tell you who impressed me. San Francisco definitely impressed me.
Yes. Even without their top weapon, man, they look good. And that defense is ferocious. And they're missing one of the top linebackers. He got hurt in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson impressed me as well. Anthony Richardson, Jordan Mason.
Anthony Richardson, I think he's going to have a lot of wild plays, big homie. He's going to make some bad plays also. I think he and Caleb Williams are both going to have big wow factor plays where you're going to say, man, this is something special. But eventually, once they get film on them, they're going to do some things, and we'll see how they can develop and how they'll be able to adjust. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, let's give a shout out
they're going to get it.
Shout out to Sam Darnold as well. Sam Darnold looked like a Pro Bowler.
Played well
against the Giants. And we can't keep letting Geno Smith not get no love. We got to give him his flowers over there in the Seattle. Geno doing his thing out there, man. I'm really proud of Geno and the way he has for him to be a starter in this league again, I thought that was over. So I was, I'm happy to see that he got his chance and he's making the most of it. Yeah, so Marlon said Caleb Williams better learn fast that college stuff don't work in the NFL.
Yeah. He's trying to make that spectacular play on every play. And, I think you and I had talked about that before, is that he has to learn in the NFL. He's got to play on schedule. Everything can't be ad lib. Everything can't be where I'm throwing with my feet off the ground and, having that false sense of being able to do the things he did in college, like from what happened in the preseason. In the preseason, you're not playing against the top flight defensive players or schemes that are designed to stop you from being who you are. So I think he's got to learn to get the ball out, take what's there, and not try to make that home run play all the time.
Yeah. Bo Nix, you're right, Marlon. Bo Nix didn't look good either. After all the praise and talk about him in the preseason, boy, he looked like garbage. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, were you impressed with Jaden Daniels the way that he played his first game?
Yeah, he did some things well, man. I do want him to go ahead and slide a few times. He took a couple of shots that you don't want him taking, and his helmet came off a couple of times too easy. Like some of the announcers were saying, like it was just a real little helmet contact, and it was coming off.
Sure did.
Those things, it can't happen out there. That it's moving too fast. So I'd like to see him continue to grow and whatever, and I think he will. I like what I see out of him. I think he's going to be. You talk about Caleb Williams, but I honestly like Jaden Daniels better, to be honest with
Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels too. He's gonna be a special kid. I definitely agree with that. All right, let's jump back on this Falcon thing real quick before we go ahead and shut it all the way down. But you have been saying time after time that I don't care how you look at it, that drafting Pennies at number 8 was not the right thing to do. You could have gotten a Dallas. I mean, I'm looking for Dallas Turner stats for Minnesota to see what he actually did this week.
Yeah, I didn't look it up either. Let me see.
I'm looking it up now. Hold tight. Dallas Turner. He had a sack. He had three tackles in the sack. And did the Falcons have a sack this week?
I think I don't know. Did he get sacked? I don't recall one. Yeah, I think he did get. I think I remember a sack because I think Grady ran him down and finished off the sack. It wasn't kind of playing in my memory.
Okay, we'll see in a second. Let's see. But anyway, go ahead and talk about why does the front office keep trying to make us think and believe, and why they keep spending?
The thing is, you're trying to save face now because you made a decision, like you said, and this was my point. You made a decision to take Kirk Cousins and say he's going to be your franchise quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years. And then when the draft comes, instead of strengthening the team and putting more players around him, because Kirk Cousins is not a quarterback that is going to be able to put everything on his shoulders and win for you. That's not him. He can't win like that. You know, him, Dak, they're players that need players around. So if you weren't going to take a defensive player, you should have gone out and got offensive pieces to help him be better. And you didn't do that. You went out and drafted a guy who's going to be an NFL star, who probably will be pretty good. But the thing is, you're hoping you don't even play him for 3 years. That made no sense to me, Big On. That's stupid. To go out and draft a guy when you are not a Super Bowl caliber team, I don't believe. But you didn't do anything to help you get closer to that level. You went out and got a guy that you want to sit on the bench. And then let's just say something goes wrong and you have to reverse course and say, okay, now we got a plan. Okay, now Kirk Cousins is, whether he's on the team or not, you tied to a $50 million slot or whatever on your squad, $100 million that over this life of this contract or whatever it was, then now you can't use that money to help your team. So it was a stupid move. People can argue back and forth and say that this was for the future and we doing it now. No, nobody in their right mind is going to go out and buy another toy that you already got the same kind of toy for, and you're doing it. That don't make no sense. And that's what they did. It went and got two of the same things, and you can't use but one.
And one was hurt.
And one was damaged. Exactly. That you bought damaged. That's the thing. You went out and bought, let's say you go out and buy a Mercedes, but you're going out and buying it off the lot with a bad transmission.
Yeah.
Why? It don't make sense. And that's what you did with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that was so. Judon had a half a sack based on what the stats say, and Grady had a sack and a half. I don't know how they divide that up like that, but Dallas Turner had a sack.
Yeah, Dallas Turner should have been an Atlanta Falcon.
TJ Watt should have been an Atlanta Falcon too.
Well, I said that on our show, Big Home. I wish we could play it back. And I said that was the guy they should have taken. And they didn't. They took Takk McKinley.
Takk McKinley, yeah. That's oof. Yep, so they moved up to take him.
And I said TJ Watt was the player, man. He was the player coming out of Wisconsin, man. He was. I saw him. He was dominant then, and he's dominant now.
Yeah, ain't nothing changed. All right, real quick, let's talk about in the NFL. Let's talk about what Ryan Clark said about Lamar Jackson and comparing him to Russell Westbrook, and Deshaun Jackson just went absolutely. He had like they related, and they not.
Did he? I didn't hear Deshaun's reaction.
He said, "Man, come on, you can't do that. You better than that. You've been in the league too long. You've been on in the sports media too long to be trying to make them dumb comparisons."
So was he? I mean, I think he was doing it for instance, not comparing them, was he? Because I heard his statement and I didn't think it was that derogatory.
Put up big numbers, but when you get on the big stage, you keep losing to the same people. And
well, aren't they doing it?
He said Russell Westbrook put up big numbers, but when it comes to Dame Lillard, he can't beat him.
So what's the difference? What did he say that was wrong? I mean, because he compared athletes, because it's still the same situation. When Lamar has gotten there, he can't get over the hump.
Lamar Jackson 0-5 against Mahomes, I think. So that's what he was actually comparing. So
right. So that's why I was saying people, they sometimes you just, no matter what you say, people take it offensively, and I heard Ryan did come back and say that, he did, it was nothing maliciously, whatever said about it. He rides for Russell and, stuff like that. But people going to hear it the way they hear it. And it is what it is, because in any way that it was negative, it came across that way to her. I heard his wife was the one that, kind of defended Russell on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah. Everybody go have a spin doctor. So, all right, let's see. Marlon say Ryan act like he didn't play in the same secondary with Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, but I would challenge anybody to go back and watch Ryan Clark play. He played with Regulars Abandon, dog, and he hit. I mean, watch he almost killed himself making contact. So
I agree.
It wasn't like he didn't go out there and he laid it on the line. Go out there and go watch film. Ryan Clark laid it on the line. He did.
I agree. He did lay it on the line. So, but the thing was, it was just, why do these athletes have to beef and battle online now? I mean, I don't. Why can't he have his opinion without somebody else trying to come to the defense?
Yeah,
of something that he said, and that's his opinion. So why are you mad at his opinion?
Yeah,
he didn't say it about you.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't even think he was being negative toward Russell. He was just saying, I mean, it's the same way with Manning couldn't get past Brady for the longest. You know what I mean? Certain players have their kryptonite. Hell, the whole 80s couldn't get past Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they said the whole 80s. Yeah.
Whole 80s, 90s is what I'm 90s. Let's put 90s.
Yeah. I was gonna say that he wasn't winning in the 80s, but yeah, I know what you mean though. But yeah, so there that was the beef, and that was the thing. It was like All right, so honestly, tell me about how you felt when the Cowboys paid Dak. Your honest, true, transparent vulnerability.
I was, well, you and I touched on it. I thought Jerry was going to let him play out the year. So hearing that, I was disappointed. But after you get over the shock, the initial disappointment, you're like, okay, this is, if you're a true Cowboy fan, you say, okay, these are cards I'm dealt. Like I said, it's not like Dak is sorry. Dak just has not lived up in the biggest moments. He's Dak in the biggest moments. I mean, he's been winning 12 games a year. We're in the thick of it. We get, in a run. We're always relevant. But I'm like, okay, I need you to get me over the top. That's the thing. And I'm not sure that he's been the guy to get me over the top. Get me to the Super Bowl. So, or win one. But I think you have to put more pieces around him, and they still haven't done that. We'll see now with Dalvin Cook coming in. It's going to be running back by committee. Your second and third receivers, you do have a true number one, but you're looking at Cook for being your number two, and then some other guys are throwing in there to kind of make it up the the best way. And then you lost Ferguson. I don't know how bad because he got hurt. Your tight end, so you lost another weapon that you use in the middle of the field a lot. So I don't know. The thing I keep saying about Dak is that he needs players around him. Now we're talking about he's down people, then coming in with journeyman type talent around him. So how good can he be? Does he take another step and prove me wrong that he can lead? I hope so. But being a Cowboy fan, not happy about the $60 million a year. Thought it could have been used a little different way. But I gotta play the cards that I was dealt, big homie. I still ride with the stock.
I'm just getting a text. Chase said Tyreek Hill getting his bust of the week.
I heard that.
You said he got a call in his plane.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to explain that because I'm not really feeling it. Definitely not feeling it.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm not. It's like you get caught in a if you with him or against him type situation, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is say that I hate that they go out and cater to and get the certain people to get their point to make it look a certain way. Yeah, Tyreek probably could have handled this a certain way. I'm not gonna ever knock that and say he shouldn't have or couldn't have. I just say we have to worry about certain things that other people don't. And I just think that's why it hits a little different for me, to be honest with you.
All right, Han, but this is my point to add to your point is why is it every time that we have fought for rights for 400 years and when we finally get them, we have to denounce them in certain situations?
Because it's still not equal, man.
You know what I'm saying? Why are we denouncing the rights? I don't if I don't want to roll my window down, I don't have to. That's my right. It's my car. You stopping me for a speeding ticket. So go back to the car, write me the ticket, and come back and hand me the ticket and let that be that.
I agree. That's all that should have been done. But it doesn't work that way. I mean, for us, it doesn't work that way. It just does not. And that's what's so frustrating. And that's the things that I keep saying. And I that's just the way I feel about it, is that we're just held to a different standard. We are.
A different
certain things
standard,
we're not going to be able to get away with.
A different standard or a lower standard, because it's like we have to lower our standards each and every time we're put in this situation.
Whatever way you look at different, lower, high, not knocking whichever way you're looking at, I'm just saying it's not a level playing field. It is definitely not.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree with that. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, fantasy football. Let's end it with fantasy football. Who looked good to you in fantasy football? Did you regret not taking anybody or taking somebody?
I made a bad decision at the last minute changing my quarterback. I should have left Purdy in. In that offense, he's going to excel because of so many weapons. As I was stating before, he could just throw a 4-yard pass and it could turn into 70 or 80 yards. He can turn around, flip the ball out to Debo, and Debo can take it to the house. CMC can take it to the house. When Ayuk gets his rhythm back, he can catch one and take it to the house. Kittle can take it to the house. So I think he's in a perfect situation. He gets that rap of being a game manager, but in that offense, he needs to be a game manager. That's what I mean about, I think Dak would thrive in something like that. So I'm not mad at him being a game manager. That's why I took him, because I think it's a guaranteed 20 to 25 points a week. And I'm glad I took him. I don't know if it's anybody that I regret right now missing out on. I don't know. I don't regret anything yet, but it's still early in the season. I'm happy with my squad. I like the way we look. So we'll see. I don't see anything I regret yet.
I won my first game this week. Pretty
Yeah.
happy. Beat the commissioner or the former commissioner.
Okay.
And came through and let me see who pulled through for me. It show one Jamar Chase. It was it my Dallas defense or Aaron Jones? I have to look at my stats again. But either way, I pulled through and came through, and I was pretty all right. Nephew already done sent me a trade proposal. I couldn't pull it up. I guess he snatched it back because I tried to go to it.
He loved to try to get folks from somewhere. I was gonna put Mason out there to see if I could get anybody to bite because you know CMC might be nagged all year with that injury.
Yeah, go and put him out there. I might bite. I got Aaron Jones. I got Aaron Jones and what's the Green Bay, the new one from Green Jacobs. I got Jacobs and Aaron Jones.
You got Jacobs too?
Yeah, I got Jacobs and Aaron. So I don't know, I might keep them too. And Madison came through for me for the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a big night. So
yeah, I think the only disappointment I had was Tank Dell. They didn't get him. He had 7 targets. But he just didn't make any, meaningful plays. And it's worried me a little bit because it looks like everything is going to Diggs and can't think of the other wide receiver, number 12. He's getting a lot of looks. So, but like I said, Dale got 7 targets. So if they connect those 3 or 4 of those, and he's a big play receiver. So I'm gonna hang in there. He's my flex option anyway. So I'm good. I like I said, I like my squad, man. I really do.
That's good. So before we even get off, let's go ahead and let me see what you got as far as a lock for the week. We'll probably start getting slick on once we really get into the football. Maybe week 3 of the NFL. Maybe we can get it. The Rain Man picks of the week back going, and let me see what you're thinking about right now as far as a lock before we lock horns after the show and talk about it.
Okay. Let me see here going in. I'm gonna go pro, man, because I feel better with the pros right now than I do on college, man. I mean, I got my brains beat in on college. I really didn't do well on pro either. So I ain't gonna even sit here and sweat it. But I think going into this week, I like the Cowboys at home against the Saints. I think we'll be able to do something there. So I do like that. And I normally don't take my own squad, but I do like them this week. I think the Patriots are going to be better than people think, man. So what are they getting? Are they getting what, 3.5? Yeah, I don't mind that at home Seattle coming way across to play them at 1 o'clock. I think you might want to sprinkle a little bit on the Patriots, maybe even on the money line on that one. I kind of like that. Browns, Jaguars. Browns are in trouble to me. So in that one, you got a point spread of 3. I think the Jaguars might cover that, especially with the way that Watson is playing. I take Jacksonville at home -3. Rams had coming off a short week, tough game against Detroit. Banged up Puka Nacua, going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. I kind of like it. I think I like the Cardinals. It's basically a pick 'em game. They're getting 1. I mean, they're -1 at home. So I think I'd take the Cardinals at home. Rams could start the season 0-2. So I'm looking at that. What's that?
Because I actually like the Rams because with Puka out, that means more targets for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, well, it is more targets, and they do find ways to get him open. But I would definitely bracket him, and if he got a lot of catches, that would limit and keep everything in front.
Yeah,
so that's what I would do.
He's on my team too. So I got Tua starting this week along with Cooper Kupp. Let's go.
Okay. I think this Lions and Buccaneers game is going to be good, man. I think quiet's kept. Baker Mayfield is gonna put up numbers in with the receiving core and the team he has around him in his second year is solidified as their starter. he's gonna be up in the hunt for MVP of the league this year. You watch and see what I tell you. People might look at me like I'm crazy, but Buster Mayfield gonna put up numbers this year.
I feel you. How do you like this Indy Green Bay game? I think that'll be very, very interesting.
Gonna be entertaining, but the only thing about it is who's gonna play quarterback for Green Bay. I think they're really at a disadvantage now. I think, especially playing Willis, and he hadn't shown much of being an NFL quarterback, so that's gonna be kind of tough. Boy, that's gonna be tough. I think they're gonna have to rely on the run game a lot, and it's a shame with the receiving core that the Packers have. They just don't have anybody that can get them the ball, I don't think, without Love.
Okay. Definitely gonna be different.
Yeah, it's a few games on here I'm kind of interested in. I think, to me, one of the better games this week should be the Dolphins and Bills. Dolphins. I think the Dolphins will end up pulling it out at home. Miami is -2.5 right now. And I think Buffalo is so reliant on Josh Allen, man. I think the Bills, I think if they can keep Tyreek from getting arrested before the game, I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, man, that's going to do it for the Sports Roundtable. Episode 388. You may want to go ahead and play that number. 388 will be the episode for tonight. So go ahead and put that Cash 3 number 388 on in there. And we want to shout out D-Will for coming through. Everybody who tuned in and listened to us and keep rocking with the SRT crew. Really appreciate it, man. And boy, we had some great talk. That hot news was hot tonight. It was blazing hot. So Shay led us off and Tyreek Hill finished us up. Wow, what a hot news, baby. Yes, sir. All right, man. Appreciate you for coming through, man. I so appreciate you having you back, man, in the fold and doing your thing. Now, if we can get the Braves to do a little better. They almost got my bust of the week. You saw they signed Calvin Biggio.
Oh, they did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they signed Biggio.
Okay.
Yeah, that means that Albie probably won't be back anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Those are my shout-outs. I'm gonna go ahead, Han. You got it.
Yeah, man. Just shout out, man. Again, shout out to everybody that tunes in, man, and rides with us every Wednesday night, 7 to 9. Man, we appreciate it. Y'all come on back and roll with us again next week.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, man. Any basketball news that you've been hearing about, been interested about in the off season?
Nothing really, man. Nothing to report. Maybe I'll get my ears to the grindstone a little bit better next week, and we'll have some.
I don't think we talked about Steph getting his deal.
Yeah. Well, you had to pay him. I mean, coming off what he did at the Olympics, what you gonna do, man? He is the best.
Was it the fact that was it a thank you deal? I mean, let's be real.
Well, you got to thank him. I mean, he's built you an arena. He's brought you 4 titles. He's made you box office television for the last 7 to 10 years. I mean, what more you want him to do, man? I mean, when you think of the NBA product, when you think of the NBA product over the last 5 to 6 years, him and LeBron James carried this whole thing, to be honest with you.
I agree, but let me explain what I mean. They didn't pay him to say win me another championship. They paid him to say thank you for the championships we did win.
That's what I'm saying.
The rebranding of Golden State and the new arena that we actually do have. Thank you, Steph. You can ride out.
Thank you, Steph, because you're going to still print money every time he comes to that building. And every time he goes on the road, he's going to bring revenue in continually. That people come to the game early to see him warm up, big homie.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. Yeah, so thank you, Steph. Was it 62 million a year? Something ridiculous.
Woo!
Something like that. All right, last but not least, if Dak Prescott got paid, what does Purdy go get now? If he wins another division title and gets to the NFC Championship game, what is Brock Purdy going to get as a contract?
It depends on if he tries to do like Mahomes and do some type of team-friendly contract where you get a lot of money over the course of years or whatever. Because Purdy knows he needs IU, he needs Debo, he needs CMC, he needs Kittle. So I don't know if he's going to go out and break the $60 million, all that kind of money, but he can. But I think that they're going to structure it in a way so it doesn't kill their cap.
Yeah. $750,000. You're not even making a million.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big jump. He gonna feel it, believe me. They can pay him $40 million a year. He'd probably be skipping all the way home.
That's for sure. Yep. Real talk. All right, big homie, that's gonna do it. You already know how we do it. Trying to get up out of here, man. All right, big homie, let's roll with it.
Boogie, I'm headed home, baby.
Jermaine, man, H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pops. R.I.P. D.C. And if you love the show,
tell a friend.
And if you didn't,
let's start these IG lives, baby.
All right, and we out of here. Peace.
Peace.